if the situation was bad enough for you to draw your weapon, and then you're just like, nope, put it down and walk away, wouldn't you want to keep that engagement? I think at that point, it kind of clicked with her. She's like, oh, crap. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex from Highland Firearms Academy, highlandccw.com, and welcome back to my castle. Today, we're doing another defensive scenario breakdown, this time coming out of Orion Township in Michigan. So I haven't actually seen this video yet. It was sent to me by a good friend of mine, and now we're going to watch it together for the first time and kind of break down what's going on. I don't know anything about this scenario. I heard that it had happened, and I had heard some commentary, but I haven't actually seen this video yet. So we're going to be watching it for the first time together. I'm going to give you my opinions on whether or not I think this was acceptable or not. It's obvious that someone at the DA's office thinks it is not acceptable because the title of this video on YouTube implies that she was charged with felonious assault. So we're going to take a look at this together and kind of see what happened, see what maybe we should have done. I want to be clear for the YouTube moderator who's now watching me, I am not condoning violence in any way. Please don't take down my video because you think I'm condoning violence. The only time I condone violence is when it's in defense of someone's life or against great bodily harm. Per the letter of the law, self-defense is the only reason that I support engaging in violence. So now that we've made that clear, let's move over to the video, take a look at it together, and see what happens. All right, so here is the video. We're going to watch it together. If I need to make commentary, I will try to pause it so that we don't get any issues like we had last time with the audio and my voice kind of overlapping. Okay, so first off, we're at a Chipotle. I can tell by the tables. One of my favorite places to eat. Any situation that takes place at a Chipotle, though, that is not eating a burrito, oh, man. Okay, so from what I can see so far, we've got one woman who is being filmed, who is, being told that she's ignorant, getting called names by what appears to be one or two other people, some 15-year-old or something. I'm confused as to how this escalates, because right now it's just a verbal disagreement. I'm sure that I'm going to be surprised. Okay, so she's saying, you're blocking me from getting in my car. I don't know if she's implying that they had been blocking her previously, but now I can see, obviously, there's one person over there. There's one person holding the camera. There's someone probably off screen that she's talking to. So at this point, she is being prevented from getting to her car. Now, is this a reasonable case right at this moment to engage in some kind of self-defense? No, not at all. No one is even suggesting that they're going to be violent. Okay, so this appears to be her husband then, and her car is right there. Okay, so she's getting in her car. He opened the door for her. Okay, so in general, it's a bad idea to threaten people. Let's just put that out there. But still at this point, it's still a verbal disagreement. At this point, there is not really any kind of reasonable self-defense situation. Moving forward. All right, so this is a race issue now. I don't know what happened, right? For all I know, the woman who's in the car was calling names and using some racial slurs. I don't know, okay? At this point, they both appear to be kind of walking away. I'm still confused where this escalates. I know it does because of the title of the video. Okay, I disagree with this. There are racist people. Let's be real. Oh my gosh. I want to go on record of saying that is so condescending to say like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you had some experience that makes you feel that." Just at this point, roll up your window and leave. Okay, she's in her car. There's no reason for her to continue arguing, right? The argument's over. Just roll up your window, drive away. And she does. Okay. Okay. Walking away. I don't know why she went behind the car. I don't know if he didn't see her behind the car. In general, probably don't go behind people's cars. Okay, so it appears that what triggered some kind of greater event was that he started backing up. They thought that he was going to run them over and started hitting his car. Don't do that. But also, still not to the point where it's reasonable to use a defensive weapon. Okay. As a firearms instructor, I am firmly on the side of you should carry chambered. There's not a modern firearm in existence today that is unsafe to carry with a round in the chamber. In a situation where you need to deploy it in less than a second, taking the time to rack the slide is not going to happen. Okay? Now, obviously, in this case, because there wasn't a legitimate threat, she did have time, but I'm obviously not on her side at this point because she carries like an idiot, but let's move. So she's drawn her weapon, right? The camera wasn't looking at them. I don't know if they were advancing towards her, or getting in her face, or being threatening in some way. But the point is, they were already leaving. Why would they stop? If people are beating on your car, and to the point where you think you need to defend this with deadly force, leave. Leave. Go to a different parking lot, call the cops, wait for them to show up, and they'll sort it out, okay? Is she telling the person she has at gunpoint to call the cops? How utterly ridiculous. Her husband should call the cops if they actually think that they're in the right here. Like, they are in control of that situation, right? That form is terrible also. Like, why is she holding her gun like that? I'm so confused, though, by the woman who's holding the phone at the end of the gun. She seems so nonchalant about this. Like, yeah, she's got a gun. I'm calling the cops. Wouldn't you want to, like, move back or, like, I don't know, don't shoot me? What is going on here? Okay, so if you're ever in a defensive situation, moving back, probably a good idea. It's very obvious at this point that she's getting ridiculously upset. And now the situation is very, very dangerous, okay? And you can hear it in the voice of the people who are her filming. They seemed so nonchalant there for a minute, and now it's like, oh, crap. It looks like her finger isn't on the trigger, which if so, I appreciate that. The video isn't very clear, so maybe it is, and I'm just wrong. This whole situation is just like big ol' snafu. It should never have happened in the first place. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. If the situation was bad enough for you to draw your weapon, and then you're just like, nope, put it down and walk away, wouldn't you want to keep that engagement? I think at that point, it kind of clicked with her. She's like, oh, crap. See if I go back 5 seconds. Right? She takes a deep breath, puts her gun down to her side, fingers off the trigger along the frame, and just... Okay. For the people who have just been threatened with a gun, I understand this was a traumatic experience, but why are they still standing there? I don't understand. Right, at this point, the situation needs to end. They're trying to leave, as they should have done in the first place, and we can let the cops sort that out later, but why are everyone just still standing around? Like, walk away. Move back. Put space between you. Okay, so that's it. That's the whole scenario. I am so incredibly frustrated by this entire thing. Partially because it looks terrible, right? It looks horrible. Not to mention the fact that it doesn't seem justified whatsoever. Okay, as I mentioned in my last shooting breakdown, one of the most important things in a self-defense scenario is that you have to be an innocent party. Right? You can't have started that fight. I think that at the very least, when they decide to stop and get back out of the car, that is starting the fight, right? They had the opportunity to not engage. If they thought that their lives were in so much danger that they should draw their firearm and use it, why would they stop and get out, right? Having a concealed carry permit does not give you the authority to threaten people with guns, does not give you the authority, especially to shoot people. That authority is given by being in a position where you are engaging defensively, not offensively. For the other people who are being threatened by a gun, please, it doesn't matter at that point whether you were right or wrong. I think you were probably right. It sounded like this lady was inconsiderate to you. At that point, it's not worth the argument. That's all I've got for you. I don't think this was an acceptable use of a firearm. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. As always, if you have another defensive scenario, feel free to send it to me at my email on screen now. And thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Alex from Highland Firearms Academy. Carry always and apply judiciously. Thank you.